Sunday Adelaja here. Good evening, everyone. Another wonderful day, another wonderful time. Eric Osadolo, Christy Bassi, Franchi Lucero, Mofe Lola Olagbegi, Mashu Esong, Anne-Marie, Charles Smith. Welcome, everyone. Esther Kuganja, Ameze Abodoze. Thank you, Ameze. Wow, what a compliment. Rochelle White, Daniela Sengam, Kiro Jibadu, Jolome White, Obio Jibadu, Daisy Orede, Nkem Dike. Welcome, everyone. Anastasia. You know, I'm talking, Anastasia. I'm calling you Anastasia. Like that's the way we call it in Russia. Your own is Anastasia. Anastasia. Wow. Bosse Fayajola, Yomi Jegede, Lorna Leif, Alexandra DiCaprio, Damilare Victor, Lemi Benga, right, that's the pastor that just left us. Victor Bolanta, I know another Bolanta. I think, is it Shekun Bolanta or Tunde Bolanta, I think? Adeleke Adeniyi, well, welcome everyone. Nice to have you all here. But here we go for another another revolutionary time with the women and the men getting to know each other. What every one of us must know about each other. What every man must know about the opposite sex, and what every woman must know about the opposite sex. So here we go here. Here we go. Now, in the morning, I spoke about two of these qualities. I spoke about the fact that women live by feelings, by what they feel, and the men live by what they think, logical conclusions. They live by logics and they take decisions by logic. And women take decisions by what they feel. Now, I also spoke about the fact that men are the aggressors. Men approach the ladies. Men are the seed carriers. They are the seed carriers and seed sowers. And the women are the ones who receive the seed. They are the fertile ground. And I also talk about the fact that women are not promiscuous, as against what most people say, that women are promiscuous. They are not promiscuous. They are responsible people, and we just need to know and understand each other better. So those two things, or three things that we spoke about, are very important for every man and woman to understand about men, about the opposite sex, about their husbands and wives. Now, the next point that I want to undo today, the next point I want to talk about right now is the fact that men base their decisions on facts and experience. Men base their decisions on facts and experience. Facts and experience. Facts and experience. So men always like to base their decisions on concrete facts and experience. What they have experienced, what they know in their mind, because what they have experienced, they know it in their mind. Facts are concrete things, truth, fact, principles, what they know in their mind. That is how men take their decisions. And they base their decisions on those two facts. what has happened to them before, what they know by experience, or the facts they know, they have been taught, what they have been taught. But women are completely the opposite. Women are completely the opposite. Women don't care as much about the facts. Women don't care as much about this. No, they care about the experience, but not as much. Women are more particular about what they are experiencing now. Women base their decisions on their feelings right now, on their emotions right now, and on their expectations, on what they expect to happen, what they are looking forward to happen, what their expectations are. There is a difference. There is a difference. So the men want to say, give me the facts. Give me the facts. Where are the facts? What are you talking about? Give me the facts. Produce the facts. What are you saying? But the woman keeps on talking, She say, I don't know, I don't have the fact, but I know, I feel it, I know. So women base their decisions on what they feel right now, their feelings, on their emotions, and on their expectations. Then let me give you another one. Oh, sorry. Let me give you another thing they use. They use what we call intuition. Women might not know why, but they sense it. They base their decision on their senses, on their intuition. And their intuition is so strong. So the reason why, let me tell you the reason why that happens to the ladies, why they are so always wrong with their intuitions, even though the facts might be telling you another story. Why is it that women always rely on their intuition and they are most often right? They are most often right. How can a woman depend on her feelings? How can a woman depend on her intuitions, on her feelings, and then she is right? And the man who is thinking about the facts and about the experience is failing him. The experience is letting him down. And even the facts sometimes are failing him. But the lady's intuition and the lady's feelings, box, get on point. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. I'm sorry, guys. My helpers here. Let me tell you why. You see this picture you see? That's a man's mind. I mean, a man. That's an old man. That's a man's mind. This is a man's feelings and emotions. This is a man's heart. And this is a man's body. But the woman, everything is here. Why is it? Why is it that a man only base this decision if a man is relying on his facts and emotions and facts and experience, everything is based on his mind. It's based on his mind because facts and experience are based here. So it's only depending on information that he has here on his mind. The man is only restricted to the information that he has here in his mind. Of course, this is his heart, this is his spirit, this is where his spirit is. He could allow his spirit, there's a thin line between his mind and his spirit and his emotions. He could allow the information to pass from here to here and from here to here. But most of the time, man depends on his mind and his experience. So everything remains here for the man. So he's only limited to what he knows. He's only limited to what he has experienced. And he's only limited to the facts at hand in the mind of the man. But let's go to the woman now. This is the woman. See, this is the body of the woman, the body of the woman, the mind of the heart of the woman, the mind of the woman, the emotions of the woman, all of them are mixed together. All of them are mixed together. So because of that, it is easier for her not just to get information from the facts she is seeing with her body. She can get information from the facts she is seeing with her eyes, the facts she has at hand. That is one basis she could get information from. But she could also get information from her feelings. The green, these are her feelings. They are related closely together. So she is all the information in us that are stored up in her feelings, but even more importantly in her heart. That is her spirit. The heart and the mind and emotion and feeling, they are all closely together. So she could pick information from the spirit realm and from the heart and from the intuition and from the spirit and from the emotions easily. All that information is mingling up in her. So she might not be able to explain it and bring it to her mind to explain it, but she's feeling it in her body. She's feeling that she has more information than the man. And the man is only limited. He's only seeing the fact. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying now. I don't know if you got that illustration right. Somebody here, Sanity Ushe, is saying, Pastor, this sounds like your personal opinion. Wow. 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 Sanity what? Your name betrays your opinion. Oh, sorry, your opinion betrays your opinion betrays your name. If your name is Sanity, then even before you come to that conclusion that this is my personal opinion, why don't you do research like I've done? How many years of research have you done on this? How many years of research? How many years have you invested in researching the nature of women and men like I have done? And I would like to tell you, it's not my personal opinion that women are more intuitive and women get more information than men, and that women pick up things in that we cannot easily refer to. This is not just my opinion, my dear. This is the fact. Go and check it up with science. You will discover that this your guy that you are seeing here is absolutely right about this. This is absolutely correct. It's correct psychologically, it's correct medically, it's correct physiologically. So this is a correct information. The correct information I'm giving you right now. You better listen. The women, they might have the fact. I mean, I am married, and you ask many married men, they will tell you that when they are doing some things, maybe businesses or some work, and they want to know the opinion of their wife, the wife might say, I don't feel good about it. Even though you are meeting with that business partner and everything counts, everything rhymes, everything comes together in the natural realm. But the woman might not be able to give you the facts. She might not be able to give you the arguments. She might not be able to tell you why, but she can tell you that something is not true, that there's something here that is wrong. And it is when you go through it that you say, oh, wow, she was right. It is because the woman can pick up some more information than the facts she is seeing with her eyes. It is because the women are more sensitive in the spirit to some other thing. I'm not talking about the Spirit of God now. The Spirit of God is in all of us. The Spirit of God is in the woman, and the Spirit of God is in the man. And as a matter of fact, when it comes to the Spirit of God, it is easier for the man to receive information from the Spirit of God than the woman. And the reason is because, again, the reason why it is often so easier, much easier for the man to receive information from the Spirit of God than the woman is because this is the man, yeah? This is the man. This is the body. This is the heart. This is the emotion and the feeling. And this is the mind of the man. Now, the Spirit of God is in our heart. And the information is coming from God. So when God is sending an information, he's sending it to our heart. And if it comes to your heart, to your spirit, and you are sensitive as a man of God, as a man, if you can easily get the Spirit of God and get information from God and separate it from what your body is telling you, you could easily separate it from what your mind is telling you, from what your mind is telling you, and you could easily separate it from what your emotions are telling you. That is why there are more men of God than women of God. Because in the case of the woman of God, even though God is speaking to her also, but he's speaking to her in her heart, but come and see the picture. Everything is messed up. So the mind of the woman is mixed up with her emotions. Is mixed up with her heart. Is mixed up with her feelings, with her mind, with her body, everything. So even though God is speaking to her directly, she cannot always differentiate. She cannot always separate what God is saying to her than what other organs of the body are telling her. She cannot always separate what is coming from the Spirit of God or what is coming from her mind or what is coming from her feelings or from her emotions. But for the man, it's easier for the man to distinguish. No, this is not coming from my mind. No, this is not coming from my feelings. No, this is coming from my spirit, from my heart. So, all of us have our own advantages, all right? All of us have our own advantages. The men have their own advantage and the women have their own advantages. Now, the woman also could work on herself to learn to separate the voice of God, the information that is coming from her spirit. She could work and become masterful. She could become a master in separating the information that is coming from her spirit, from her heart, from all other information that is coming from her emotions, and that is coming from her feelings, and that is coming from her mind, and from what she sees around her. But it's more difficult for the woman to separate, to be able to know what information is coming from where. That is why when you ask a woman, what is the basis of your information? How do you know? How do you know what you're saying? She might not be able to tell you. In fact, sometimes she's telling you something and you want to say, okay, explain. She cannot explain. She's just saying, I know this is true, but I cannot explain it. Or she needs a lot of time to really calm down. And when she's calming down, she's trying to make all the other things silent. She's trying to separate what she just got now from all other things that are coming to her. And she's trying to be able to communicate that to you. She's trying to bring that information from her emotions into her mind. She's trying to... When the lady is trying to say, okay, wait a minute, I'm going to tell you now. What she's doing is she's trying to separate what she's feeling in her emotions, this grain. She's trying to separate it from her mind and then take it from her mind, from her emotions, and take it to her mind so that she could be able to talk it to you. Or she wants to be able to separate where is the information coming from the red, from the heart, and then she's getting it from the heart and taking it to the mind. So she's trying to do this. For a woman to function very well and to be competitive in the world, especially in the world of men in the world that we live in is a man's world. Everything is separate. Everybody wants you to argue, to use logic. But she is using more feelings. So for her to be able to explain what she means and what is happening, she has to separate all these four colors to be able to bring it to her mind. This is the mind, and then she'll be able to explain it. But for the man, it is already separated. Everything is already separated. But the man has to do the opposite work. The man has to bring what he is thinking in his mind. He has to make efforts to make it go to his feelings and his emotions for him to be able to feel it. Otherwise, he just in his head, he's not feeling anything. So, and then he has to make effort to make it go to his heart or to his body and all that. So, those are the differences that happen between men and women. And as such, as a result, we see that women base their decisions on what they feel, on their intuitions, and on their expectations. She might be expecting you to do something, so she's already thinking about it and expecting. So sometimes a woman is talking what she's expecting. For example, a man could behave nicely to the woman and give her some attention, and she's already thinking that he's going to be my husband, and now I have, this. Why? What she's expecting has been mixed up. You see, let me show you the photograph again. Why is it that a woman takes decisions sometimes based on her expectation? She sees something happening around her in the body here, and while she's still seeing or thinking about the thing, it has not happened yet. Maybe she's looking at the boy or a man that is kind to her, behaving nicely to her. She's already thinking, all the information is already gone to her feelings, to her heart, and everybody, everywhere. So it has not happened yet, but she's already expecting it because it has gone to mix up with her feelings. And so she is now acting. She's now behaving as if the man has spoken to her, as if the man is in love with her. But the man doesn't even know. The man only behaved nicely to her. But she is thinking, or maybe let's say something happens. A man just touches a woman's body, maybe just hugs you or touches you, and the woman's information or the feelings, it goes from her body, it goes to her feelings, to her heart, and she's already... So she's taking decisions right now, not just based on what has happened, but based on sometimes what she's thinking will happen. Or sometimes she takes decisions based on what she's expecting to happen. But she sometimes has not tracked it to wait for it to happen. And she's already thinking it has happened. Because everything is messed up. Everything is mixed up. So the bottom line of what I'm trying to say is, a woman bases her decisions on what she feels, on her emotions, on her expectations, and on her intuition generally. Because she's all living in that sphere. And because all of that is mixed together. That's how she's built. Now, let's talk about the men. The man, on the other hand, he is not in the loop. He is not in the know. He is thinking, what happened? What's going on here? The man is always the last one to know. The man is always the last one to know any information in the house. In the family, the mother has noticed something. The mother knows what is happening. And she knows what the children are doing, what the boy is doing, what the girl is doing. But the father is just looking, hallelujah, hallelujah, everything is good, everything is all right. And the mother picked up the information. But the man doesn't pick up the information. Why? Because the man is only relying on the facts, on what he hears. Either he heard it, or he saw it, or somebody told him. Man is operating from what he has received, what he has seen, or touched, or what he has heard. He has to have the information based on the five senses, or he has to have the information. And everything goes through the mind of the man. So he has to have the information before he could be certain that, yes, this is really happening. He didn't know what is happening. So what I'm saying is that the man needs the facts. The man needs either the facts now, right? He needs the fact to base his decision on it, or he relies on his knowledge or experience. Knowledge and experience. Knowledge and experience. So the man always thinks that he knows everything. Man is always thinking he knows everything. Because he knows what he sees. He knows what he heard. He knows what he knows. But he doesn't know that, in contrast to the woman, that the woman knows many more things. Let me show you more pictures. Let me show you a photograph that should be able to help us understand how much women know than the men. Let me use this photograph. Whew. Can you see this? Do you understand this? This is the man. This is the man here. This is the man. He just has information, he has the fact, and he has the experience. Straight line. Straight line. But the woman, we only have three information. 1, 2, 3. Fact. But the woman, everything is going. Intuition. Feelings, intuition. You understand this program? Okay, you have to speak. You speak a little bit of English. Wait, sit down there. Yeah, apology. Let's see if this lady here could help me a little bit. And let me see if my English is good enough. Tatiana, tell me, how do you understand the photograph I just showed?
When I look at this photo, at this picture, I just recognize myself very clearly. It's so funny for me when I see just a line in a picture of a man that
straight line,
nothing else. I can't even imagine that it can happen.
Yeah.
How can you just see the straight line and nothing else? Because when something happened with me, I just not only feel, I think, I try to to think, imagine what it will be in the future, how it will affect me, how it will affect him, everything together. So this scene, it's happened all the time. So when we speak,
so this photograph,
yes,
is all the time.
All the time. Before you said that we women, we must to quiet ourselves, to separate all these things, all these color things. But I think, okay, this is good to speak like this, but how to do this? How to? For me, just to sit quiet and to separate. Okay, I have these facts. This is my facts that I have. This is only my emotions. To separate them, I must be very. I think I must be very mature. I must be very mature and to practice this, because to say this is facts. This is my feelings. This is my emotions. This is my body. You know, this is my thoughts. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. And I think to learn to do this, it's every day's practice. And I think that a woman can do this only if she will put it as a goal to do this. As a goal.
Wow.
If she will decide to do this, okay, I must to learn how to separate them, because if I will...
Ну, не совсем, но...
Что происходит с женщинами, что происходит с мужчинами? Go ahead.
So, for me, it's a little bit difficult to separate these things. But another picture with labyrinth, you know, with this thing, it's like it describes very clear what's happening inside of us.
This one?
It's like, and this one and another one. It's like something running, you know, running.
Wow.
Did you saw a labyrinth and maybe a mouse which is
Running.
running? This is what happened all the time.
For the woman.
Yes. And for me, for example, I came to you, Pastor,
To talk.
To talk. This is what happened before. I started, I need to write. I need to write points because men, they like points, and because I know if I will start to speak about this, I will never finish. So I need to always see, to look at these points, to at least to be able to, you know, to describe what happened in all areas.
What about this? Tell me what is happening here. What is this photograph? This is the man. I know this is the man downstairs. There is a straight line of the man.
Okay.
This is the man. It's just his instruction, decision, facts, and the woman. What is happening to her when anything happens?
Okay. She, for example, not she, I.
Yeah.
When
This is a woman here.
Yes.
Anything happens and it's up. Yeah.
When something happens, I just start to think, okay, I know what happened before, how it can affect me.
Okay.
I know, I start to feel.
Feel something?
Okay.
We don't feel anything.
Always.
Men don't feel anything.
Always something. Even now.
You are feeling something now.
Of course.
What are you feeling now? You are feeling what you are saying?
Yes.
We don't feel what we say. We just
No. Never words it separate from our feelings. For example, when I feel
your
that
words are not separated from your feelings.
No. Because how can it be separate? I don't even understand.
And we don't know how to feel what you say.
I must to take, you know, I must to take all my power, all my I don't know what, to separate my words from my feelings. This is why sometimes you saw, Pastor, that women, they for them are difficult to speak in our you know.
Yes, in the church.
In the church or in your fellowships and so on. So she started to speak about something, but in this very moment she started to feel something. Then she remembered something that happened before. Another second, she see how he looks at her, you know. and she think, okay, she looked at me. Maybe she think about all this happened at the same time. Can you imagine how can I speak clear? So for me now to talk like this, at least like this, I must to practice and to work on myself, you know, before.
So this photograph is true. Something is always
Always.
something is always rolling, always running.
Right now it's running.
Wow! Right now it's running.
Yes. But I tried before.
So this is always going around the emotions of the woman.
Yes, of course.
And the man is just straight line. And you said you cannot imagine this straight line for the man? Just fact.
No.
Fact.
How can it
Straight line. Fact, information, experience.
How can it
Fact, information, experience. No problem. No problem for the man. And the woman, something happened, one fact.
How can it be possible? I will think, okay, I'm sitting before you, I'm
Yes.
a live person, you're a live person. How can you think only about fact that you are saying to me? I don't.
Because we are separated. Because man is thinking only what he's thinking in his mind now. Even if I'm seeing something else, I don't care. I'm just thinking about what I'm talking about now.
So
Everything is going through my mind
only
only.
the topic what you're talking
Yes,
about.
only the topic I'm talking about. And
you-
I don't feel it too. I just talk about it because I know it in the head. I'm not feeling anything.
And you don't thinking about another one topic that
No,
you
I'm not thinking about another topic at all. I forget totally that there's another topic that exists. I forget. I don't know. I don't think about it unless I put it as a target to think about another topic, then I think about another topic.
It's hard to understand for a woman.
Understand?
Yes, it's very hard to understand because we think that we are human beings.
Yes.
Me,
We
are.
think we are the same? Or you used to think like that?
I know the information. I know information very much from you. Yes, Pastor, you told very much things about this.
Yes.
I know the information, but when I start to speak with a man, I need to push myself to remember all these things and to practice them.
Wow.
As I said before, when I came to you,
Yes.
today I wrote these things, and because before you teach us that when you start to speak with a man, you must to mention the main points.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I did it. I know that I will speak about this.
You have the points.
Yes, I have a point, and I wrote like 3 points for you to not make your life difficult,
Yes.
because I start to learn, from your previous teachings.
Yeah.
For me, it's very hard, but I'm trying. So I think it's possible. Somehow, I think it's possible to separate, to make.
Separate what the woman is thinking, right? I mean, what's going on in the life of the woman, right? Yeah. To separate, because the man is automatically separated, you see. For the man, is automatically separated. What is happening in the mind, in the emotions and the feelings, in the heart, in the body is all automatically separated for the man. That's why they are more balanced, they are more quiet, stable. Okay. But for the woman, so it's difficult to separate what you are feeling from what you are saying, from what is happening, from what you are saying. Everything is going on at the same time, right?
Very difficult, Pastor. And when you just spoke about this, I had a question. Okay, Pastor, this is good for you to say, but how to do this? How? How to separate?
Да, сейчас только он
What do
поддержал.
you say?
Он поддержал ее за руку, она уже назвала 4-го ребенка, я это так поняла.
Да.
То есть он-то может только, или там просто хотел подержать за руку, то есть имел какие-то физические, может быть, склонность, а она уже все перемешала в перемешку, то есть она уже решила, что все, вот я уже
She's saying that
замужем.
if a man touches a woman and behaves nicely to her, that she's already thinking how many children they're going to have, and how their wedding is going to be, what a husband is going to be to her, and the wedding dress that she will have.
То есть она уже все перемешала, она уже себе нафантазировала из одного только физического прикосновения.
Just because it behaved so nice, it touched her, because when you touch her like that, that touch send information to all other parts of her body. It send information to her spirit, to her soul, everything.
То есть нету распределения.
So women don't have it separated. We have movement all the time. Everything we see is moving to the feelings, is moving to the mind, is to the heart, is moving all the time. We don't have it separated.
Я так поняла.
And maybe, Pastor, maybe today you will help us. Because my question is for you, like to the men, how to separate all this, how to do this. I understand that In you, it happens like, automatically. But to tell me that I need to separate them, it's okay. For me, it's just information now. How to quiet all my feelings, how to just, okay, this is facts, this is emotions, this is what happens. I need help. I just need help.
What you said before, you said it before that you need practice. It's the same thing. There's a lot of practice to be able to make this work for you. Like there's a lady here, Shaq Rose, who says, I'm a woman and I don't think that way. So it means that she has been raised up maybe in an environment where they made her to always do things logically. They have put her in a restrained environment, in a strict environment where she's been pushed to the limit to always separate. But she still has that. Her nature is like that. Nobody can revolt against their nature. You are who you are. Even when people are gay, gay, two men, they'll say, I feel like a woman. And everyone says, I feel like a woman. Even gay, even among the gay people, the two men that want to become two men, homosexuality, to become husband and wife, but they still have two men, or they still have who is the man and who is the woman. They still have that, even though they are gay. So it doesn't matter if a woman also, she still has they still have two women, but they still have one, like woman and what, like, so they still have all the same feelings. Only they think they understand each other better. So they think a man understands me better, easy. And a woman understands her better, easy. So that's what, but it just depends on your training and on your, the environment that has disciplined you or pushed you all the time. But you can still not change your nature. You are still having those things together. You just have to, learn to separate by practice, only practice. So,
because for me, it's possible for a short time, like.
Yes, it's always for short time for the woman.
For short time.
Yes.
It's possible, but like for half hour, maybe 1 hour, I can do this. But when I come back home,
yes,
I start to think, this happened. It was looking like this, all things that I was hold before, they are coming out.
Okay.
So they started, to tell me, okay, Tatiana, this happened. This person is looked at you like this, but I think it's more, as you said, it's more. I can do this with the training, with practice, and as much practice as it.
But the men also have the men also have to learn to close those two, all emotions. The men also have to learn to work with their mind and their emotions, and work with their mind and their feelings, and work with their mind and their heart, and work with their heart and their what they see. So it's the opposite. Women need to separate, and men need to bring together.
This is why we have, marriages. And men and women, we must be together, and something about yin and yang.
Yes.
This scene, Chinese scene that because I think I want to ask you to learn to teach me to be like you, and you to teach you be like me sometimes. Yes, but I think it's not really possible. Yeah, so. I think you. Marriages to not just be like like emotional.
Yes, that's why for you to marry, you've got to know some of these things so that you understand people better. It helps you to understand better other people. So anyway, I hope you understand something now. So the decision-making process of the man and woman is different. Because like I said, the men base their decision-making on facts, on experience, and on knowledge, what they know. The women base their decision-making on emotions, on feelings, on expectations, what they think will happen, what they are expecting to happen, and on their intuition. So this is very important that we understand the difference between all this. Anastasia is saying women should always carry their notepad so that they write all the points all the time. Yes, because when you write down the points, it helps you to remove the emotions and just have the point. So when you want to go and talk to somebody, sit down, get the emotions aside, and write the points. And also, in life, also, you could always write like that. They will help you to separate. Okay, Pro David say, Pastor, you are right. I am naturally more masculine in this. However, there are some times I just can't explain why some things isn't clear, even because I have tried all my best. That's why I try to learn more to the masculine and narrow my way to the feminine approach, and that seems best for me. Yes, because you are more stable. When you remove your feminine, the more you remove the feminine something, the easier for you to get your way around in this world where everybody wants you to explain everything. Anastasia say, I think it will be much more difficult for the man than the woman to bring all the emotions together. Well, who knows? Everybody has to try their best. The right training can help to separate and bring everything together, just like in the military training. That's what Olukayode is saying. Michael Babs says, no wonder. That is why women are more confused most of the time, especially when they are trying to pass down information. Oluwatoyin said, Bidemi, that is why some ladies won't allow you to touch them. Everything about them is connected. Yes. Wow. Okwe Abiola says, I have issues sometimes with the women's feelings, though because they are irrational in their decision making. Not that they are irrational in their decision making, it's just because they express differently. Because for you to be rational, that means you need to use your mind. But they are more feeling-based than mind-based. So they want to pass across to you what they are feeling. And it is not always you can find the right words to explain what you are feeling. So you just need to be more patient with them. You just need to be more patient with them. Rachel Igbinovia says, act like a lady or love like a lady, think like a man. Okay, it's a book by Steve Harvey. Will help bring this home. Okay. TY say, you are so amazing, Dr. Adelaya. You get us to a perfect tea. I was late, but blessed to watch this again. Constance says, men need more patience with women because of this truth. Yes. Okay. Can I give you one more point before I go? Maybe I could give you one more point. What's the difference between men and women? Let me try and give you one more point. Okay, another point is I think this one is long. This one is going to be tough. How do I tell you this? Man expresses love to the woman. So a man says to the woman, I love you, or I like you. A man approaches the woman, right? We spoke a little bit about that in the morning. A man approaches the woman But even though the man is saying, I love you, she heard it. But you know what the woman does? The woman says, okay, let me think about it. I love you, or I like you, but she says, okay, let me think about it. She tries to test to see if you really mean what you say. So, how do I say this? Wow, Kina, I just wrote you a letter today. You will get the letter tomorrow. Or, I just dictated a letter to you today from your letter. I just read your letter to me because I was in this retreat, in this HMT training, and I was not able to read your letter. I just read it today, and I've dictated the answer to my assistant. They will send it to you tomorrow. That's Kina Spearman. Hi, help me greet Mom Donna. Evangelist Donna, help me greet her. Anyway, so sometimes men always wonder, I know this lady likes me. Now I tell her I like you, or I love you, or be my wife, or something like that, and she says, okay, let me go and think about it. Or a man makes an attempt to talk to the lady and let her know his interest in her, and she's thinking, okay, she's waiting. She's waiting for you to affirm and to confirm your seriousness and that you are really serious. So I don't know if this is, I just want the men to know this is natural, and I want to explain why this happens. When a man likes a woman, and it's not enough just for you to inform her. You need to do two things for her. You need to speak enough word to convince her of her uniqueness. You need to convince her of how special she is. So you could say, I like you. How could you just see me and say you like me? You don't even know me. She wants you to just tell her more than you like her. That's just information. How? It's not true, she thinks. Oh, I love you. How can you just love me? Even though she heard you, she's feeling that it's going all her mind. She's having 1,000 questions when she hears that. You love me? How can you love me? She wants to hear more information. So the natural response of a woman to a love advance, for a movement or advance or the approach from a man is to try it. Everything you're telling her, she wants to try it out. She wants you to convince her that information is not just coming from the blue. It's not just coming from the sky. That information, you need to substantiate it. So if I say I like you or I love you, why do you love me? What do you see in me that is special? What is the difference between me and the other girls? In fact, let me tell you ladies who are here, if you are here as a lady, I can explain to you today why you are not married yet. I can explain to you why you are not married if you are a lady. And I've said this before. If you are a woman that is here today, the only reason why you are not married yet is because there has not been a man. That man has not come to you who will convince you of your uniqueness. That man has not come to your life who will let you know how unique you are. He doesn't just have to know you are unique. He has to convince you. He has to come back to you to convince you. From his mouth, he needs to come to convince you. He needs to come to let you know and convince you that you are unique and that you are special and that there's no one like you. A man must always convince. So it is not just enough for you to just tell you, I like you. She's thinking about it. She's thinking, what does it mean? What is it going to do? How is it going to do that? What is it? That is the first thing that makes a woman, if you just tell her, I love you, you give her more confusion. If you don't prove to her what makes her special, if you don't prove to her what makes her unique, if you don't prove to her how she is in your eyes, you need to let her know how she is in your eyes, how special she is in your eyes. It's not just enough for you to tell her that information that you love her. Okay, you love her, but why? What is the basis of your love? You need to convince a girl about her uniqueness. And I tell you, ladies, if the man that is trying to woo you or to approach you or to entice you to his side does not take his time to let you know about your uniqueness, if he does not take his time to convince you of how special you are, if he does not take his time to really sow the words back into you, to sow in you the words of how special, unique, and peculiar you are, if it does not convince you, if it does not really convince you that you are unique and special, it means he's not saying that. If he's not saying that, he cannot convince you. And if he's not convincing you, you are just an empty place to him. That's not serious. That is one thing that makes, so what happens in the nature of man, different between man and woman is, man talks. He approaches, he advances on the woman, makes advances on the woman, and tells her how he loves her, but she does not just jump on it. She says, okay, I hear you, but that is one. You need to convince me what makes you think I'm special. That's number one. Number two thing that she's waiting for is like a woman she wants it. She's waiting for you to come and tell her, but it's like she is running away at the same time. It's like she wants it and she's running away. She wants it and she's running away from it. You tell her, I love you. Maybe she knows or she wants it, but she's running away. She's running away until you come after her to convince her of how special she is. That's number one thing that she needs to know. That's number one thing she needs to know. Number two thing that she needs to know why she's running away. She's going to keep on being careful. And she's going to keep on running away until she feels that you have convinced her that she will be secured with you. You need to convince her that she will be secured with you. You need to convince her that she will be protected. You need to convince her that you cover for her. You cover her. You protect her. You are going to be there for her, that you got her back. You've got to convince her that you've got her back. You need to assure her of your covering, of your security, of your protection, of stability, of security, of companionship, of friendship, and of trust. You need to win her trust. And the way to win her trust is by convincing her that she's protected and she's safe. When she knows she's safe, she's ready to say, yes, let's go. If you don't convince that girl that she's safe with you, if you don't convince her that she'll be safe with you in the future, even though she heard you, that you say you like her or you love her, but she will be careful to say yes. She's still running away from you. She's still a little bit careful. She's not sure because you have not done your job. That's the difference with the man. So the woman, the man thinks it's enough. But I told you I love you. So what happens even when you are married already? When a man and a woman and a woman are married, men don't understand why is it that a woman who is my wife will always come to me and say, do you love me? Do you still love me? Do you love me? Do you still love me? Do you love me? Do you still love me? Tell me you love me. Do you love me? Do you love me? The man doesn't understand that. Why? Why I don't love you? I married you. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't have married you, but I married you already. This is not logical. Why are you saying, do you love me? I married you. You are my wife. How do I say you love me? It's like, to the man, it's illogical. But to the girl, to the lady, what she's trying to tell you is, you are not convincing me of my uniqueness anymore. You are not coming to me to let me know how special I am. You are not sowing enough seeds of the word. You are not sowing enough seeds of confidence, words of confidence into me. You are not letting me know how special I am anymore. I don't feel special anymore in this house. I don't feel I am unique. I don't feel my uniqueness. I feel that the furniture is more important than me. I feel that the television is more important than me. I feel that the radio is more important than me. The TV is more important than me. The car is more important than me. Your work, the job, the church, the members are more important than me. Who am I here? Who am I in this house? Do you love me? She doesn't just want to hear the word, I love you. She's not looking for that word, I love you only. She wants you to tell her what you started with. To always let her know about her uniqueness. She wants you to come back to her every day. And my belief is that a man who is a husband needs to always do 3 things in a day. Minimum 3 things to convince the lady of her uniqueness. You need to do 3 things in a day to convince her of her uniqueness. Maybe you need to hug her. Maybe you need to touch her. Maybe you need to do eye contact. Maybe you need to give her a gift. Maybe you need to give her a flower. Maybe you need to give her a card. Maybe you need to do 3 different things every day to let her know she's special. That is a compulsory obligation. It must be a compulsory tradition for you as a husband. If you are not ready to do that, every single day you are not ready to be a husband. You're not ready to be a husband. And if you don't do that, you are abusing that lady. You are abusing that lady. You are abusing that lady. And the other thing that the girl needs when or your wife needs when she tells you that you don't love me, tell me you love me. Do you love me? Is that she's feeling that she's no more feeling the security. She's no more feeling the security. She's no more feeling the protection. She's no more feeling the stability. She's no more feeling that she's special. She's no more feeling that you care about her. So a woman will always, even though she heard that you like her, even though she heard that you love her, but she wants to be convinced. A woman is always waiting for the man to do the work of conviction, to convince her through his words. That's why the Bible says that Jesus does the same thing for the church. He washes the church with the water of the word. With the water of the word. With the water of the word. The word is what the church, what Jesus uses to establish the church. And it's the same words that men must use to establish the lady, to give her peace, to give her confidence, to give her assurance, to assure her of security, of protection, of uniqueness, of being special. The words must be spoken to her all the time. So when she say, do you love me? Do you love me? She needs some more words. Words of assurance, words of confidence, words of pleasure. You've got to let her know about her uniqueness all the time. Words of life. words of love, words of assurance, words of... So man approaches a woman, then the woman seems to draw back. The woman seems to run away. The woman seems to take a break. Why does she do that? But she knows I love her. She knows as information, but she wants to be convinced in her feelings, in her emotions. She wants to be established. Now, let me show you that photograph again, so that you know what is happening. So that you know what is happening. You know what is happening. So for the man, if you tell him the information here, this is the body of the man. He only hears the information here. That is enough for him. He just heard it one time. You like me? I love you. You like me? Finish. But the woman, she got the information. It's going all around her. But she wants the information to be cemented. To be cemented. Not just in her ears, but conforming to me. Convince